Basically what's happening is we're starting a podcast talking about self-development, business, health and wellness, pretty much anything to develop us towards our futures. We're going to talk about our goals and business ventures that we have going on, and just anything that a college student's trying to do to make it in the world after college. So
yeah, and then we're also going to kind of go into like what we're doing, and so we'll talk about it later, but we're going to set specific goals for ourselves, like weekly, monthly, and annual goals, and then we'll talk about our progress on them, what's working, what isn't, and so that you guys, the viewers, can be able to see what we're doing to achieve whatever goals we're setting for ourselves.
yeah, so we kind of came up with a list of things to talk about, and we've been trying to not talk about these things so that we can give it to everyone else, because it's good stuff. All right, so what were some of the things that we were talking about originally?
So I think maybe we should first start talking about where we are right now.
Yeah, okay.
Rather than going immediately like into the goals and everything like that.
Yep.
So first thing I think we should talk about is where we're currently at in terms of like development.
Yeah.
And so like with myself, I kind of got into the whole self-development thing when I heard of like Tony Robbins. Like that was the first guy I ever heard of, and so I watched his movie on Netflix, and then I read Awaken the Giant Within afterwards, and then I was like, all right, like going throughout my life, I was always kind of like doubting myself and shutting myself down before I could do anything. So like I'd take 2 steps forward, and then whenever taking the third one became a little bit difficult, or some little thing, a little obstacle popped up, I was like, I'd rather take my attention over here, and then I'd take those 2 steps back. And so I kind of realized like you can do it, and so it's just changing like your thinking and all of that. So that was about a month ago, and so right now what I'm doing is I'm kind of getting these daily habits going for myself, and I feel like I'm starting to improve and kind of figure out who I am in a little bit. Yeah, so what about you?
Okay, so mine was a little bit different. My buddy didn't go to college, and he was really starting to hustle and make some money, and he was going through this huge self-development phase, and he was talking about how he wanted to be financially stable and financially free, and he wanted to make a lot of money when he's older, and all these concepts were just so unfamiliar to me, because I was still in the high school mindset of, hey, let's just have fun, let's party, let's get girls, I mean pretty much all those basics, and just the idea of preparing myself for my future was so out there that I started looking into it a lot further, and I realized that like we're not going to be kids forever. Like we need to really start focusing, how am I going to make money? Do I want to be rich? Do I want to be financially stable? Who do I want to be as a person when I'm older? So I started reading, just like you said, and diving into the topic, and I kind of became obsessed with it. But and then it's changed me so much ever since. I've been a completely different person.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So like, what kind of goals are you or habits have you been forming?
Yeah, so something that I started doing, I think it's been like a month and a half now. And not every day, but I try to wake up at like 6 o'clock or 6:30 in the morning. And the reason why is, I don't know, it's nice, like it's quiet, and like I have all these other little things that I'm trying to do, like all these other habits, and I'll talk about them. And it's nice to just have time for yourself in the morning, where like nobody else is up, and you just kind of focus on yourself. And your phone's not going off. You don't have people demanding your attention, like left and right, and all of this. And it's nice. You can just chill out, take a deep breath, and then get ready for the day mentally. So I've been doing that.
And the morning is like, I know for me, and maybe it's different for different people, but the morning is like my most productive time.
Exactly.
Especially right as I wake up. So I use that time to get to work on homework or anything that I have related to my goals, and then I'll do non-mentally demanding things later, like working out and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, no, I love that, because it's like you get to do, like you have time to do what matters to you. And you can't, when you're up before everybody else is, you don't have any excuses to like not do it. Like,
Exactly.
You're in an environment where you're like, okay, I'm awake, nobody else is. I don't have anything that is that unless you're putting something off and it's like when the homework's time to do it like at 8 a.m. But like other than that, like that's your time for yourself.
Yeah.
And
you wake up wanting to do it.
Exactly.
Too. Like when you wake up at 6 a.m. for a purpose, you get it done.
Exactly. And it's not like I want to wake up at 6 a.m. If I want to, I'd sleep until 9. But it's like I know that if I wake up at 9, I'm gonna be like, oh, I can't do all this. I have to go do that.
Yep.
And it's just like I know that if I wake up, right when I wake up, I'm like, all right, time to shine. I'm like, just get it. And so that's one of my things, definitely. What about you?
Well, going off that also is like when you have a good morning routine, it sets the tone for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So when you wake up early, you set the tone, you get in the mindset of, hey, I want to get these done, and then maybe I can relax at night before I go to bed, maybe read a little bit, maybe just chill. And I think it's so important because I wake up at 6 a.m. too. That's one of my habits that I've been really working on, and it has been so beneficial.
Exactly.
Because no one's up, no one's blowing up your phone. I turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. I just set it over to the side.
Yeah, exactly.
And I focus, and it works so well. And then later on at night, if people want to hang out, maybe I'll have time for that.
Right.
But I get things done in the morning when I need to. So,
exactly. Yeah, because if you just push it out till night, like you'll end up deciding, okay, do I want to like do something like do I want to do this little project, or I could go out with my friends and that'd be a lot more fun. And it's like if you get it done early in the morning, then you have time to do both. And it's not a matter of there's no cost benefit analysis in there.
It's like there's this one thing on Will Smith's channel. It's it's like one of the little subheadings. It's about self-love, and he said self-love is self-discipline. What's going to make you happier in the long run? If you really love yourself, are you gonna let yourself go out and drink when you know you have stuff to do?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna do the things that are gonna benefit you so much more in the future and make you happier in the long run?
Exactly.
So that's part of what we're talking about too.
Yeah.
It's like, do you really want to discipline yourself, or are you gonna just let yourself go out?
What do you value more, long term or your short term?
Exactly.
And it's like your short term, there's gonna be no long term.
Yeah.
There's no growth, and like I don't know, like the best thing about living is growing. Like I always developing is one of the best feelings in the world, and if you're not developing, then you're just wasting your time. Like
I don't know who said it, but there was this one quote, and I know Tim Ferriss says it too all the time. It's like progress in life is the key to being happy. You can't be happy.
That's a lot of people. Yeah.
I know, and I see so many people being like stagnant and not really working towards any goals.
Right.
And they're not the happiest people I know. Like they're maybe even sad, or like they're not happy with where their life is right now.
Yeah.
But like when I see people that are continually progressing towards their goals, they're changing,
they're never
bettering.
they're never just like depressed. Or just sad without a reason.
Yeah.
So if you say like, oh, why are you like bummed out? Like, oh, I don't really know. It's like, oh, I know.
Yeah, I know maybe, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
And I'd like to help you, but a lot of people are. It's lazy, they don't want to, but then they don't understand the goal or the
they just don't
benefits.
They don't have a reason to like you just, I don't know. It's like I was the exact same way for the longest time, and like quick break, just to let everybody know we're not crazy developed. Like we're not like $20,000 into some business where we can say this. It's like we in terms of like huge development, we've just taken the first couple steps, but those first couple steps are massive.
And the easiest.
Yeah.
You just have to want it.
We're about to hit, shit's about to hit the fan. Like, but it's like.
In a good way.
In a good way. And it's like, once you take those first couple steps, you realize, oh, like, this might be tough, but like, if you really want to do it, then you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like having clear defined motives for what you want to do. And especially having an understanding of why. That's the biggest thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like everything that I want to do right now, I know I'm going to do it because the meaning, it means so much.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I think also going back to our point about constant progress makes you happy and it makes people happy is I think that is part of my why. why am I doing this? I think it's because I know it makes me feel good. It makes me, I know I'm working towards something. It gives me a purpose. It gives me something to do every day and look forward to every day. It's the achieving my goals.
Right.
And that's part of my why. And I kind of just realized that right now.
That's how it's been a little bit.
Finding your why is hard.
It's like, and it's like, it doesn't have to be a big achievement at the end of the day. It's like, if I've taken one little marginal improvement, it's better than the day before, and I'm happy.
Yeah,
and it's like if you have a day where you're like, I don't really do that much. It's just like, all right, well, then what do you need to do tomorrow that will change, that you don't get stuck in the rut, that you don't get stuck in a rut, and it's just having a different perspective on everything.
I know.
Makes you feel so much better. Yeah.
Each day, continually just progressing just a little bit. Did you learn something? Did you develop something?
So then, okay, going back to where we went on a huge tangent, are there any other current habits that you have?
You're right, we did go on a huge tangent.
Tangent.
Saw that coming. Any other habits is, let me see. So my huge thing is working out, fitness, and being healthy. And so I work out every single day.
No rest days?
I have like one rest day.
Active rest days?
Yeah, but it's more active. It's either I'll do cardio or I'll maybe even just stretch. I'll do some simple things, but not like super
so you're in the same mindset.
Yeah.
You don't break your mindset.
Because I don't like having any days off. I feel, I don't know, I feel different when I don't have that, when I have that day off. So, constantly improving in that aspect and eating healthy, and I've actually been tracking my calories and what I eat every day is so beneficial for my health, and it's actually proven that when you work out every day, it's good for your mental health too.
Right.
So, and I've noticed that extremely. And you're more confident, and confidence, I believe, is like the key to success. You don't see a successful person that's not confident.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you need to be confident with whatever you're doing, because if you're going to go through any processes of finding success or achieving your goals, you're probably going to be criticized. People may pick on you. Things like that happen, but you need to, if you're confident enough, it won't matter to you. They're not going to be laughing when you're at the top.
And that's what I was kind of saying earlier, is like, these people, they're successful because they're confident that they're going to achieve their goal. They're confident in the why. They're confident in the meaning.
Exactly.
And it's like, if you're not confident in your meaning, any criticism or disturbance toward getting there, it's going to shake you. And if you don't have like a really strong foundation in place, it's just going to collapse. And you'll just be back to square one where you were, like, and that's how it's been a lot for me in my past, is I do these things and I wouldn't really believe in myself. I'd be like, oh, this would be awesome if I did it, but I didn't really, like, I wasn't confident in my abilities.
You're right.
And so I just quit and I give up, just because it's more comfortable to be complacent with where you were, just hanging out and, you know, just getting hammered all the time. It's just like, if you gotta value the discomfort of achieving these goals you set for yourself over the comfort of just doing nothing.
Oh, I agree with that so much.
Yeah.
It's like, if the best things in life are on the other side of your comfort zone, that statement couldn't be more true.
Right.
You're gonna have to be uncomfortable. You're not gonna be able to be comfortable all the time. And if you are, then you're not making progress most likely. You need to be pushing yourself to areas you've never been to get the things you've never had.
Exactly.
So that's also something I've learned so much. And if you do get picked on, or if you do get stopped up because you're afraid of what people think of you, these things happen, you know, like everyone goes through that. Maybe it's enough, but like, you learn from what happened, and then it makes you a better person. And if you can get out on the other side even more confident, you won't be able to be stopped. You'll get what you want.
Yeah.
It all goes down to the why.
Okay, wait. All right. So we're gonna check the camera right now to make sure that all is good. Set a 15-minute timer to make sure the battery's fine and the audio's all right. So hang on for 1 second.
I hope so.
All right, we checked everything. We're all good. So we're just gonna keep going. All right. So the next topic that we'll cover is what am I currently doing that will benefit me in the future?
Yeah. Okay.
You want to go ahead with that one?
Yeah. So when you made the outline for this, I was definitely, I definitely like all these topics. I feel like even if we weren't doing this podcast, I think we would be able to, or we should do things like this, that we kind of have a little introspection and we can understand, like,
Right.
are we actually building habits and like
It's
doing
like,
things
yeah,
that
like a
benefit us?
reality check.
Yeah, and I think like even if, or by any means, everyone should be doing this just to double check. Hey, am I actually progressing myself towards the future? And if not, what can I change?
Right.
So one of the few things that I put down on here is, like I already talked about, working out and being healthy. That will benefit me so much in the future as an adult. But more off of a different topic, I kind of want to go into like not just the physical aspect of working out, but like being able to learn and like reading and listening to books is something that I've definitely gotten into so much.
Yeah.
And Audible is what I started out with, because I'm not a big reader. Just sitting down and reading a book, it's not very enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it wasn't. I've gotten a lot better with it now. But the best way to start is if you have a long commute to school, or walking around, or if you're cooking, cleaning, anything like that, you can be listening to audiobooks.
Yeah.
Which makes it so much more productive for you, so you can be learning
Right.
while you do all these simple tasks.
And I didn't know this, but like if you're a student, you can get a reduced rate membership for Audible. And so if you're, do you know about this or no?
I pay $15 a month.
You don't have to. You can pay 10.
Oh.
I know. I found this out and I was like, oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you're saying.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, if you're a student, then you can get it for $10.
Yep. Yeah. Just Google it and it'll pop up for you. You just gotta make sure to check your student email and you're all good.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the amount that I've learned from these books, it is such a good investment in yourself. I mean, yeah, you have to pay $10 to $15 a month on this.
You do get a one book credit a month though.
Yeah, you do.
And you get 2 Audible originals. So for $10 you are getting like 3 audiobooks.
Yeah.
So
But the amount that it pay off in the future is huge.
Yeah.
It's not about the small amount of money you have to pay right now, but it's about the large amount of money that you could potentially be getting.
It's investing in yourself.
It is.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely so important. Like everything we should be doing should be an investment in ourselves
Right.
for the future.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Which is like all the things that we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
Just investments in ourselves.
Yeah. Okay, so then I'll talk about myself a little bit. So some of the things that I'm currently doing that'll benefit me in the future. One of the things that I've been doing consistently for, I'd say over 30 days, I don't know if it's 40. I've only missed 2 days, but I meditate every morning for about 15 minutes. It's the Tony Robbins method. It's called priming. If you just look it up on YouTube, just type Tony Robbins priming. There's like a guided meditation type thing. It's definitely out there. Like it's.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's definitely
abstract.
It's very abstract. But when the first time I did, because I have had like the apps like Headspace and all that, and I'm just like, I recently tried doing Headspace again, and I fell asleep in the middle of it.
I've done that too, actually.
And so yeah, with this one, it's, I don't know, I'm able to really concentrate and all this, and so I really liked it. And the first time I did it, like I was like, this is kind of weird, but it works. And so I've been doing that, and I love it. I do it like right after I wake up, and it makes me start my day on a really great note. Like, you kind of, like one of the things that you do is you think about 3 things that you're thankful for in your life, and you kind of think about where, like what your strengths are, where you could improve, and then you also, it's called the 3 to Thrive, where you think of 3 things that'll allow you to succeed in life.
Okay.
And so you visualize like success in it. Like if you want to start a company, you don't envision, oh, you know, this can happen, this can happen. You envision being at the top.
Yeah.
And so thinking about that and these ideas that I've had for over 30 days, you get so much clarity.
Yeah.
And and going back to the why factor, you understand why you're doing what you do.
Yeah.
Is because you experience it, like you're really living it, and so you experience the success. And if you don't value it, then maybe you shouldn't be achieving it. Or maybe you're striving to do it. You reevaluate your approach or what you're doing. And so I found certain things where I'm like, this is it. Like, this is exactly what I want to do. And it's made me so much more committed to these things. And not only that, but being thankful. Like, we kind of fail to realize how lucky we are in life.
Oh.
And we tend to take things for granted.
So lucky.
Exactly. And so I love doing it. Like, it just makes me feel really wholesome after. And
Oh yeah.
I feel centered, and like that's one of the things I absolutely love doing. I work out. Not as much as you over here, but I definitely need to start doing that more often. Try to do it 4 times a week, 5 times a week, but I want to do it like maybe 6 times a week and then an active rest day rather than just 2 rest days. Another thing that I'm doing, where was it? Yeah, I really like to take like a cold shower type thing. So
I do not like cold showers.
it's like, what I'll do is I'll take like a warm shower, right? And then after I finish everything, I'll crank it to the lowest setting and it'll just be ice cold, and I'll stay in there until I do 30 deep breaths, and it sucks.
Oh, it sucks.
It's horrible. But at the end, like when you turn it off, like feeling your body warm back up feels so good. And the thing I like about it is I take my showers right after I meditate in the morning, and it's like doing something that you don't want to do, just like and achieving it so early in the morning and set yourself up for success.
Yeah, actually, I have a lot of experience with that because of all last year, I was doing cold showers every single morning. And I would do it a little bit differently than you did. I wouldn't do a warm shower first. I would do the entire shower just cold.
See, no, that sucks. I can't do that.
It was really hard, but the hardest part was stepping into the water. I would stand outside the shower.
That's what I did.
For like
That's what I
30
would
seconds
do.
just staring at it.
And just like, you kind of stick your arm in, you're like, oh damn,
yeah, you don't want to do it.
It's cold today.
But then you do it. I would always count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you just jump in, and then you have so many like deep breaths, like you just fill your lungs.
Yeah.
And it's like better than coffee. And it's not the fact that it's cold. I think it's the deep breaths that you do that really
you're getting
energize
oxygen
you.
in your system.
Yeah.
And that's why I love it.
And then also one of the benefits that I noticed from it, and I don't think a whole lot of people tell you this, I don't know if other people have even noticed it really, but one of the things that I noticed is because I was really willing to do that in the morning, and I got myself out of my comfort zone to be able to step into the water.
That's what I'm saying.
I was more willing to step out of my comfort zone in the future.
For the remainder of the day.
For the rest of the day. I was more willing to do things I didn't want to do. And that's one of the best benefits about it. But I stopped doing them because I just hated them so much.
No, yeah, and that's what it was for me. Kind of is like, I was like, okay, well, right now there's no way in hell I could set up a routine of just doing this, and I did it like 2 years ago, my freshman year of college, and I stopped. I was like, this isn't sustainable. This just sucks.
Oh,
that's what happened for you. It's like it works for a bit, and then you just kind of crash and burn. Some people are able to do it, but like, I was like, okay, if it didn't work that time, then maybe this time I'll take like a lukewarm shower, and then afterwards I'll do that, and then, you know, maybe when I'm like about to wash my face, because I'll wash my body on my face, okay, maybe I'll crank it cold when I wash my face, and then it's just, I'll slowly transition where I'm taking full showers, and it's not as big of a hassle as just going at it straight out of the gate.
But it really is a challenge, no matter what.
Yeah,
it's a
good
that's the
one.
part of it, though. That's why people do it.
Exactly. You get in the habit of like becoming more comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, and that is, like we talked about, is so key. Yep. And I mean, that's a very obvious theme that everyone talks about too. You're not even going to hear that from just us. It being uncomfortable and getting out of your comfort zone is just such a constant theme of life to be able to grow and learn.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Okay, so then shifting gears.
Oh, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of wanted to talk about, you were talking about how like when you meditate, you think about picturing yourself at the top. And I kind of wanted to go on that a little bit too, because you were talking about when you meditate, you kind of view yourself, picturing yourself already being successful, things that you're grateful for. One of the things that I've learned on that too is there's a difference between thinking about wanting something and then picturing yourself already having something.
Yes.
And you need to make sure you know the difference between those two.
Yeah.
Because if you picture yourself or you think about wanting something and you want money, you want wealth, you want girls or whatever it is, then your mind doesn't know the difference and it's gonna just think, I want these things. But when you picture yourself already having them, your mind will be like, okay, we have these, or here are the steps to get these things that we need, rather than just want.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
So yeah, that's one thing that you gotta really focus on.
Yeah.
And there's a good book on that too, Think and Grow Rich. Have you read that?
Is that the Napoleon Hill? I have not, but that's on my list.
That is such an old book, but it still applies today. It's like, if you think about things you want every single day and already having them, you'll create such a desire for them that your mind won't let you not have them.
Yeah.
And it's super cool. Great book.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you ready to shift gears?
Yeah, we can shift now.
Okay, cool. All right, so the next bullet that we have is, what am I doing currently that will hinder me in the future if I don't change it now?
Yeah, okay, so the complete opposite of what we just talked about.
So if you want to go first, feel free.
So one of the things, it's not something that I'm necessarily doing, but it's what I surround myself with every day. And being in college, especially at a public university, there's a lot of partying going on. And obviously we like to have fun, you know.
Right.
Everyone needs to have fun and relax sometime in their life. And there's always a time for that. But it's the ones that know the difference between doing it in moderation and
just making it a lifestyle.
Making it a lifestyle, because a lot of people, especially at our age, make it a lifestyle, and that's not the best way to set yourself up.
I agree.
So one of the things that I've been really working on to change is my surroundings, surrounding myself with more like-minded people. People that, we want to have fun, but let's get our stuff done first. And that's huge, because if you surround yourself with people that just want to party and have fun and drink,
it's going to rub off on you.
That's the way you're going to act. Yeah, you are the average.
Even if you don't want it to, it'll happen.
Yeah, it happens naturally. There's peer pressure. It's subconscious.
It's a lot of subconscious. You won't it's once you take a step back, like, oh damn, it really is affecting you.
Yeah. If you want to be a millionaire, you gotta surround yourself with millionaires. That's the way it is. And there's no better way to beat or to get to somewhere if you have 5 or more people to help you get to that spot. If you do it alone, with everyone else pulling you down, there's so much more friction. It's gonna be so much harder.
Exactly.
So that's something that's definitely hindering me.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. One of the things that I wrote was avoiding things because I would rather do what feels good immediately. And so going back, that's what, and I was kind of talking about this earlier, is whether you value short-term
gains, pleasure.
Short-term pleasure versus long-term pleasure. And sometimes, like, when you're working towards a long-term goal and it becomes a little bit difficult or become a little bit discouraged, it's like, playing Xbox right now would be pretty nice.
Oh yeah.
That's not as painful as this is right now. I'm not losing money in this right now. You are paying for the Xbox Live fee, but that's it comes down to that, where I would do these things, and for example, I created a hat company to raise money for breast cancer research, and I ordered 25 hats, and so I was gonna.
That's sweet.
And so I was gonna donate any of the proceeds, like the price that I was charging minus what I paid myself. All that was going to be donated. And so I was able to, I bought 25 hats. I was able to quickly sell like 10 to friends and families. But then I had 15 and I was like, this isn't as easy to sell.
No, I bet.
And so I created this Instagram account where for 2 weeks I was pushing it and I didn't get any traction. I wasn't getting any sales. And eventually I just was like, this is tough. I'd rather go out and drink with some friends, or I would rather just go hang out or watch Netflix or go play Xbox or whatever. This would be more enjoyable than grinding my butt off for 15 hats.
Yeah.
And so what ended up happening was, to this day, I still have 15 hats
Do you really?
in my closet. Yep. I still have 15 hats sitting in my closet. And so that's going back to exactly what I was saying, is I need to, whenever the going gets hard, I need to take a step back and evaluate, why am I doing what I'm doing? What's the deeper meaning? Rather than just thinking in the moment.
Yeah.
And because if you don't think about why you originally started this in the first place, you get sidetracked and all these other things, and all this other noise comes into your head, and then you lose sight of the goal.
Yeah, it's so true. And long-term gains will always be better than the short-term, but you just don't understand that when you're in the
Exactly.
present. You just got to keep your eyes on why, exactly what you're just saying. So, and another thing on that is like you need to make sure you're not procrastinating.
Yeah, that's another one of mine.
Is it?
Yep.
So procrastinating, it goes hand in hand with the short-term and the long-term goals. It's like you could procrastinate and you could play Xbox, or you could not and you could just do it now, even though you don't really want to, but you know in the future it will help.
Right.
So that's something that I want to cut down on, is procrastinating.
Yeah, definitely.
It's so easy to put things off, especially now. But the best thing to do is just take action.
Right.
And then it'll get easier.
Right. It's like when you have that decision where you're like, oh, I really want to play Xbox, but I should clean my room, and you decide, I'll just clean my room. I've never regret cleaning my room. I've never regret.
Oh, I bet you wouldn't.
I've never regret doing my homework before it's due, multiple days before it's due, because afterwards, it's stress-free. There's no pressure.
I've actually never thought about that, actually. I mean, I guess I've probably noticed it, but like...
It's something that I picked
you
up
would
on
never
a while
regret,
ago, but I failed to implement it as much as I should.
Oh, I know. You will never regret doing the hard thing first.
Yeah.
It never will. Or stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you might... There may be times when you fail at something, or you embarrass yourself, but like, as long as you keep your eye on the fact that you learned something, or you did something to better yourself,
that's one of the biggest things.
you won't regret it.
Yeah, is to, when you make a mistake, rather than just be like, like that sucks, I should, like that's a bummer, I just wasted all this time. It's like, no, like, learn from it so you don't make it again.
Yeah, exactly.
And the more mistakes you make, the better chance that the next time you
more
do it,
you learn.
you'll succeed.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you won't make the mistake again.
There's in the Student Activity Center, there's a thing that's like by Babe Ruth. It's like every strike leads me closer to the next home run.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, and that applies with everything in life. It's like every failure you have will just lead you closer to your success.
Right.
And I mean, you won't meet a single successful person that has not failed.
Yeah.
1,000 times or more.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna fail so much more than you succeed.
Yeah.
But then the success will be so large because of all the little mini failures that led you there.
It's like if you succeeded without failing, your goal isn't big enough.
Yeah, exactly. Your goal's not big enough.
You need to make bigger goals. Yeah.
That's true. You gotta dream big in order to get that. And if you don't, you shoot for the sky, and then you land on a tree. You're still way higher than everyone else.
I haven't heard that one before.
Something like that.
That's pretty good.
I've heard Gary Vaynerchuk said that sometime. It's like, if you just shoot for the top of a tree, then you don't make it there, then you're back on the floor or something. But if you shoot for the sky and you land on the tree,
you know what I mean? That. Yeah, I like that quote. That's a good one.
I butchered it, but something like that.
It's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have anything else that are kind of hindering you right now that's on your mind?
Another thing I had was thinking of the day-to-day, not the end goal, even though we just talked about that. So, another one, which is pretty obvious, is the doubting myself and coming up with excuses.
Oh yeah.
For why maybe I shouldn't be doing it. And like, I don't know. I mean, that's such a cliche type thing where like everybody's done that.
But everyone has that.
And it's a matter of, if you doubt yourself, say, why am I doubting myself?
Yeah.
And like, did I lose sight of what I want? Maybe my current approach isn't working. Okay, if my current approach isn't working, what approach should I take? Should I reevaluate? Should I scratch some of these things that I've done to build something better?
Yeah.
If you build a bad foundation, build a better one.
Yeah.
Don't try to build an incredible idea off of a crap foundation. Build something that's solid. And
I agree.
like, so then rather than just quitting, just take your idea and use it in a better way. And that's one of the biggest things is like, if I do something that's not working out, I don't really think, well then how should I do this? I'm just like, this doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that everybody can kind of learn from.
Oh yeah, and that happens so easily too.
Yeah.
Like you can lose sight of things, especially when you have other people watching you, or you think that people are judging you, or people are criticizing something.
Yeah.
It makes it even easier to kind of lose sight. Why are you doing it? Or lose hope, or lose motivation because
Right.
these things happen. But yeah, if you have a strong foundation, or if it collapses, then you build a stronger foundation, then it will work out. But it is very easy to have that mindset of and lose sight of what you want.
Yeah.
But something that I've been working on lately is keeping an abundance mindset. It's like there's always room for you at the top.
Yeah.
So like even when people criticize you and stuff like that, then you kind of always know like
You're improving.
you are improving. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and yeah.
Is that all you got for that?
Yeah, that's all I got on that
Okay,
point.
so that covers all of our current state stuff. Do you still want to do the future stuff in a future episode?
I think we should.
Okay, so you just wanna wrap
Dude,
this up
we
here?
could actually come back tomorrow. I'd be down.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna wrap it up here. So for this episode, we just covered our current state and where we're at in life. Just to, like I said earlier, set the foundation for what's to come. And so for the next episode, we're going to dive into our plans for the future. And so a couple of those topics, just to give you a little sneak peek, is what habits do I want to start developing? We're going to talk about our goals, like our 1 week, our 1 month, our year, like our annual goals. And what we're going to start doing, what projects we're going to start doing, what habits we're going to start taking on, and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. We had a lot of fun making it.
Yeah,
It was a lot less awkward than I anticipated, especially shooting in a...
We're gonna watch this a year from now. We're gonna be like, ooh.
Yeah. And I mean, we're shooting in like a school building, so it's just an open hall. So yeah, couldn't get more awkward, but I think it turned out pretty well.
No, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So once again, thanks for watching. We'll plug all of our social media in, like up here on the screen somewhere. And make sure to follow us on whatever platforms you'd like. One of the things I'm going to do is kind of upload content on a more consistent basis to kind of talk, like give you guys sneak peeks of what we're doing and what we're working on. So yeah, hope you enjoy this. Eric, you have anything to say?
No, I mean, yeah, actually, so when we're talking about all these different things, he already mentioned this before, but like we are not yet extremely successful people. We're still going through the rough of it, and just keep that in mind and understand like we basically have just gone through the self-development phase and we know where we should be going next, but don't look at us like we know, like we have it all figured out, because we don't, but we know the general direction of where we want to go.
Exactly.
So.
And yeah, and just to kind of go off of that, I think that's one of the cool things about this podcast is that a lot of these people that kind of run these podcasts are already successful in some way, like people like Joe Rogan and
Lewis Howes.
Yeah, and it's like Lewis Howes already author and he's well known and all this, and so I think that doing this we're at the beginning of what could be.
Yeah, as we learn, we're gonna bring that directly here. Like we're constantly learning more so that we can talk about it. And
yeah, and so I think that's gonna be really cool. Is if all works out, we can actually document our progress and talk about what we're doing on a consistent basis that allow us to get there and possibly be examples. And I think that is something really cool.
I agree.
Yeah, and so anything else?
No.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. We'll hope to see you next time.
Next time.
I don't know when that is yet.
All right.
I'm praying a week or a month or what?
I'm praying that it's
Still going?
Still going.